Good evening, teacher Maria. My name is Valentina Mora. I'm going to do my final oral presentation. I'm going to share my screen as you can see my visual aids. So I'm going to share now my screen. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted that so many of you could make it today. Let me just start by introducing myself. My name is Valentina Mora. I'm a student of fourth semester of modern languages at the EAN University. Along my education process, I have made some research and analysis of the internationalization process of some companies, local companies, and foreign companies. What I'd like to present you today is the case of a well-known Colombian company which achieved their success abroad. This topic will be very important for you because this case is part of the reality of the Colombian companies. So you can take it as a guide to achieve your aims or to start the process of expand your company. The purpose of this presentation is to foster the idea that it's possible for Colombian companies expand its market abroad. Although I know that we are not a developed country or our economy is weak, and I really want to motivate you to achieve it and to start this great process. Well, we have a structure today in the presentation. I'll begin with basic information about the company. Let then I move on the countries where it has expanded. Then I'll show you the entry modes that the company has used in its process. At the final, I'm going to show you, of course, the conclusions, but we have um, about 10 minutes to do questions and I answer your questions. Well, let's start. So, I know I'm pretty sure that all of you more or less know five of those companies or brands which you are watching in the screen. For example, Juan Valdez. Everybody knows what is Juan Valdez. Colombina is a well-known company in Colombia. Familia, for example, crepes and waffles, and every of these brands or companies has something in common that maybe all of these brands start just as a dream, as an idea, as a project, but then with a lot of effort and patience, they achieve to expand its trade, its market, its company to the to foreign countries. And I want that all of you keep it in mind. So, did you know that almost 150 Colombian companies has expanded its market around the world? Yes, that's great, and that's a lot. Yes, Colombian companies are in the five continents. This is great. This information, I get it, this information from the newspaper El Tiempo. But there's a special company that I want to present you today. Maybe you have already known this company, but I want you to present Cementos Argos. Cementos Argos is a company that was founded in 1934 in Medellin, Colombia. Their industry is focused in produce and commercialize cement and ready-mix concrete. They have a great position in Colombia, as you know. They are the fifth largest cement producer in Latin America. They are the second largest southeastern in USA, and they are the third largest ready-mix producer in USA. I want you to say that this position that they have nowadays is because they have worked a lot on it. Okay, let's move on the numbers of Cementos Argos. Cementos Argos has revenues of has consolidated revenues of 8.5 billion of Colombian pesos, and they have solidified operating incomes, which is so important, and they are of 4.9 billion of Colombian pesos. They have sales. They sell more than 25 million of Colombian pesos between tons of cement and and concrete. Now that we know a little bit about the financial information of Cementos Argos, let's move on the overall coverage. Well, I have to say that they have this company, as the company start to grow, they decided to invest in plants and machinery, which is so important in companies because yes, they start to gain a lot of position in the country. Their incomes were rising, but they decided to invest, and this is so important. Invest. Nowadays, they have 9,166 collaborators, 12 cement plants, 9 clinker grinding, 375 concrete plants, 8 aggregate plants, and 94 dispatch centers. Well, moving on to the second part of this presentation, I want you to to present you the countries where it has expanded. Cementos Argos nowadays is in 11 countries, but Cement Argos additionally of it export to more than 34 countries around the world. Well, the countries where Cementos Argos is nowadays is the United States, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Honduras, Panama, French Guiana, Suriname, Puerto Rico, Curacao, Saint Martins, and Antigua. Okay, this is the final part of the presentation, the entry modes of Cementos Argos. Well, as you can see, national expansion through the acquisition and construction of several companies, all located in strategic geographic points, which is so important, where the availability of resources and accessibility to transportation were guaranteed. Cementos Argos start, obviously, investing in a local form. Yeah, they they built new plants in different places here in Colombia, but they did it in a strategic way. Yeah, then they gain that experience here in Colombia, that they have a strong position here in Colombia. Then of it, they start to think and to decide to expand its market, its company, its brand through other countries. For example, here in Colombia, they have the Jumbo Plan, the Barranquilla Plan, Cairo Plan, Tolu Viejo Plant, Cartagena Plan, Rio Claro Plan, Paz del Rio Acquisition, and in 2008, the expansion and modernization of national plants. This is an example of the plants that they have here in Colombia. And if you can see, as you can see, all those are strategic points into Colombia. As said before, in the international market, Argus has consolidated and strategic of geographical diversification, with the Caribbean and the United States being the main focuses of its expansion. For example, in 1998, they did strategic alliances are formed to acquire cement companies in Panama, the Dominican Republic, and Haiti. It is just an example of what they did with its market. Some of the conclusions are that, as you know, Semen Argos is a Colombian company that has grown through more than 80 years. Its first efforts were to establish the company in the local trade. According to the customer profile, the company managed the distribution issue through the quality of its products. This venture established a competitive market. Its capacity to work for all the customer and achieve big projects make its growth. Mm, Semen Argos took advantage of its stability as a company in its origin market, which is here in Colombia. And I want you to say that Argos has a transparency line. It is a project. They have a lot of projects, sustainability projects, innovation projects, and they have a new idea that is transparency line, which is to report complaints for irregular actions that people or their clients could watch, could um, take or be part of irregular actions, and they can report that actions in a transparency line. I think that is a really good idea because they have, with this idea, they gain the loyalty of its clients, which is really important for a company. As I said at the beginning, my purpose is to foster the idea that the Colombian companies can expand its market into different places abroad the country. And now I want to repeat that if you are entrepreneur, if you have your company, you have to keep in mind that that all those companies that I showed you before, like Juan Valdez, Crepes and Waffles, Colombina, Grupo Nutresa, Team Foods, all these companies have something in common. Maybe as your company too. It is just an idea. They start like a small venture, but then they have to you have to be intelligent. You have to do strategic alliances. You need um good marketing, but overall you need a lot of patience, a lot of effort, and you need to be intelligent to invest abroad because it is possible and it is a good idea. So now let's move on to the question and answer period. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you to understand my topic, and I want that my purpose, my aim with this presentation will be um, will be reality for all of you. Thank you very much.